Zeno, it's weird for coaches, it's weird for the players involved. I mean, obviously for the fans and for, media, that's always going to be a litmus test. But for us, there is no statement game. The only statement game is that last one when you play it in whatever designated city that you can go out there and make that statement. Last night for us was really just a chance to go out and put our best foot forward. And I really was proud of the effectiveness of the guys being able to go out, execute the game plan, and to find a way to get a big time win versus a really good opponent.
Yeah, Coach, I got four quick questions here. D'Angelo Malone, why was he on the field late in the game?
I'll answer that first. D'Angelo's been part of that rotation all year. He's one of those guys that goes down to a bunch of different packages that we have. He's done up to shows that he can play better and get better, and he's been doing those things even since last year. Been out there. I know you guys remember the big mistake that he made in the Washington game when he had the illegal contact downfield. But I mean, this is a guy that just continues to get better for us. He's been one of those guys who I'm just laughing at Mark's question. Sorry, T-Lin. He's been one of those guys that's been able to go out and find ways to get on the grass, whether it's as a dropper, whether it's as a rusher, whether it's a dominant special teams player for us, and he's a significant contributor for our football team. And I love seeing D'Lo go out there and do positive things for us.
And how did Mike Jarrell play for you at left tackle?
He filled in and did a nice job. Was able to go out there and finish that game for us. Our steady Eddie, left tackle, left the game yesterday with an ankle. We'll see what he is from a day-to-day standpoint. But he really went out there and played well. He went out there and was able to do the things that we went signed him for early in the season. Got out there, you made the calls, and when you don't notice those guys, that's really a good thing.
And on the block field goal, it looked like Russo just made a play, but what did y'all see? And then how are the special teams playing overall?
Pretty low trajectory on that kick. Particularly Russo made a great play. There's no doubt about it. They got a little pressure right there, but pretty much it was low. But overall, last night, I was really pleased with how the special teams played last night, particularly in our coverage units, bringing us that operational piece of the kick, the snap, and all those type of things that's happening with us. And like those things went well last night, other than that one play that you just mentioned.
And what are you all, as you get ready for turn the page, getting ready for the 49ers? They're 4-2. I just listened to Coach Kyle. They're hoping to get Kittle back, lost Fred. What are some of the main things you're going to face when you face going against your buddy Kyle and his teams?
Yeah, it's way too early for me to give you big time assessment about the 49ers. Obviously got in, just started looking at those guys, but just talking about the genuine history of Kyle. You got ready for a tough downhill run game, and I know it hadn't been going up until this point for those guys throughout the season, but we know how quickly that can change. They've been doing a great job of going out there being efficient in their pass game. They play two quarterbacks that play well this year. They play receivers that's played well this year. Guys that have been with them, guys that have moved on with somewhere else and came back. With Kendrick Bourne being able to do stuff that he's doing out there this year, he's had two phenomenal games back to back. They got the tough Jennings out there who's able to do a bunch of different things when he's healthy. I know he's been dealing with some things and fighting through all those different things, but they got a lot of really good football players on this football team, starting with Christian McCaffrey, obviously the most used player in football. And then you just got to talk about everybody on their offense, right? They get Kittle back. That presents another significant problem for them. And then on defense, they play fast, they play physical. They do a lot of similar things that we're going to do. So we want to get out there and get a great game for these guys.
Thanks, Coach.
No problem.
Well, Romani's question, did you see LeBron James tweet about Bijan, and did you get a kick out of it?
I did not see the tweet. I am not in that world. So what was the tweet?
Just hyping up Bijan.
Great.
Mark Zeno.
So much has been made of people like me in our line of work about the short yardage situations in the pistol, and you added a new wrinkle last night with Felipe Franks. Certainly something that was different from what we've seen before. Can you kind of give a little background on how that came about, and has it been in the works for a while, or was it something that new that was put in?
It's been in the works for a while, but it's a copycat league. You steal those things from other people. San Fran, we've seen run it. We've seen a couple people run it last week. It's copycat league, and Felipe fits that mold. Obviously he has the quarterback background. He has some of those different things. We go out there now, 13 personnel, so he can definitely add that to us and some of that world. But you're always trying to get better, and when you're trying to get better, that entails stealing things from other people, and that was just a great theftful moment.
Karen?
Were you able to get an update on Jake Matthews either this morning or later last night?
Today, all I know is it's going to be day to day. It was an ankle. So we know who he is. We know what he doesn't miss. So we'll just have to see, Taryn. But I feel really positive about him and what happened based on not having any idea last night.
Okay.
Anything else?
Real quick, Penix said after the game that the win made the Falcons legit. What does that mean to you when he says this team is legit?
It just means like Penix is doing the right things. Like he's going out there putting his team in position to win. I love how he is about how he corrects himself about the things that he wants to do better every single game, how he wants to finish that game better. I love how he got it started. I love how he was able to go out there and execute the game plan. We played a legit team. So really when Penix is saying it makes us legit, it's more that he's giving Buffalo a compliment as opposed to really talking about who we are and what we are. But if you can beat a team like Buffalo, you can put yourself up against anybody in the league. I think that's a well coached. I think that's a proven football team, a team that's been in the AFC Championship numerous amounts of times, competing at a very high level with Patrick and Burrow when they're rolling over there and as the best team in the AFC. So I think he's giving kind of Buffalo more of a compliment as more than talking about what we are.
To that end, Allen, I'll say it, you don't have to, was the best quarterback you faced all year to this point by a pretty wide margin and an offense that presented a lot of challenges that others didn't. When your defense plays that well, how much confidence does it give you and the defense, that those numbers that we saw after the first 4 weeks that might have looked a little bit, hey, it's, given the opponents you play, the numbers might be a little bit misleading. To do that to that offense, it's got to feel much better for you guys and almost sort of validation of your process.
You know what I feel about stats? It's more about the process. It's more about the process. It's more about going out and executing what you need to get done to win the football game. And then, obviously when you play a guy like Josh, I think Baker will probably argue with you. He's been playing pretty well. But, when you talk about playing a guy like Josh, it's about getting off the grass. And we were able to get off the grass on third down and fourth down in this day and age. We were able to do those things last night. We were able to go out there and limit him and what Michael Jordan can do, like we talked about at the beginning of the week, because that's, kind of who those guys are. And we talk about those quarterbacks. And when you can go out there and do those things consistently, which you've been able to do, that fires you up about your defense, that fires you up about everything. But when you're playing guys that good, it's going to take a bunch of people. It's going to take your offense having time of possession. It's going to take your offense being able to move the chains on third down. It's going to take your offense being able to score. And we were able to do all those things last night, and it was a fun team win.